Good morning. I apologize for my appearance. I literally, oh, I didn't just wake up. I woke up like an hour ago, but I haven't done much. I just did some work from my bed and now I'm gonna get ready for the day. But today is a very, very exciting day. It's Friday the 11th of February and I'm going back to the theatre this evening to see, I think it's the first preview of a production called Broken Wings, and I'm super excited to see it. So Broken Wings is a story about Khalil Gibran, who, if you don't know, is a very famous writer. He wrote a book called The Prophet, which is very, very famous. So like, if you enjoy reading, I'm sure you've heard of that book or come across that book at some point. But the reason I'm really excited is because I think the majority of the show takes place in Beirut in Lebanon, and I lived in Beirut for 7 years. And for those of you that don't know, my dad is half Lebanese. So yeah, I'm just really excited to see that on stage and see something very, very different. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this show before, and it is a musical, so there is music and songs, which I'm really excited for. So it's going to be a fun day. I'm taking most of the morning off from work today and just running a few errands with my sister, which will be really nice. I think we are going to Westfield. We've got a few bits that we need to grab, so that'll be fun. And then I'll be working for, I don't know how many hours. I'll be working for a while before the theatre. Have various things that I need to get done before the weekend, so I'll be doing that, and then I will be heading to the West End, which is all very, very exciting. So yeah, I will take you along with me. Also, I was sent like physical copies of my tickets, which I don't think I have been sent like an actual ticket in like a few years. Like, I don't remember the last time I was given a ticket. So yeah, that's weird. I didn't even know, like, I swear I selected e-ticket, but then I got this in the post, so that's fun. Usually I just have like, I get sent like a barcode that they scan, you know, when you go in. But anyways, time to get ready and start the day. This is very dark. Maybe I should have worn a different top. Anyways, I thought I would read the like description of the musical, just because it is new. Like, today's the first night that I think it's the first night that they are performing in front of a live audience, which is very, very exciting. But I thought I would read the like little synopsis description for those of you that don't know what Broken Wings is about. So here it says, New York City, 1923. Through exquisite poetry and enchanting music, an aging Gibran narrates our tale, transporting us back 2 decades and across continents to turn of the century Beirut. Yay! Gibran meets Selma. Their connection is instant and their love affair fated. However, their journey to happiness is soon thrown off course as the pair face obstacles that shake the delicate foundation of their partnership. Will their love win out, or will their dream of a life together be torn apart? It sounds amazing. I'm so excited. And then it says, Broken Wings takes on an unmissable musical voyage exploring issues of gender equality, immigration, the freedom to love who we love, and what home really means to us. Over a century later, and the themes and debates raised in Gibran's story remain increasingly relevant today. It just sounds so good. So here is a little montage of my walk to the theatre. The bus dropped me off at Charing Cross Station, so this is Charing Cross Station, and then I headed to the theatre, which is around the corner from the main station entrance. This area is always really, really busy because you've got Embankment Station at the end of this street, so it's always quite busy. Luckily there weren't too many people. I have this thing where I always arrive early, so like very early to things, so just in case there was lots of traffic, lots of people making it more difficult for me to get to the theatre, I'd be on time. I do apologise for this blurry, annoying light, but hopefully you can still kind of read what's there. This is actually the first preview I've ever gone to, so I knew that there may be hiccups along the way. The only kind of two things that I noticed was, first, we weren't let in until about 10 minutes before. As you can see, there's like people still on stage, and that was fine. And then the only other thing was, when we tried to get to our seats, everyone kind of looked around very confused because there were no seat numbers, which obviously made it very difficult to know where you were sitting. But lucky we had a few people, few members of staff who were kind of helping us out, so that was all fine. As this is a vlog, I thought I would do a slightly more informal chat about Broken Wings. I've just gotten home. I'm not gonna lie, my plan was, I'm also taking off my makeup. My plan was to do a chat about my thoughts as I was walking from the theatre to the bus stop. However, I naively thought I would be brave enough to whip out my camera, as everyone was leaving the theatre. And the Broken Wings production is at Charing Cross Theatre, which is off the Strand. And if you know the Strand, there are like, I think there are 3 theatres on the Strand. So Pretty Women at the Savoy, Back to the Future at the Adelphi, and 6, I can't remember what the name of the theatre is, but 6 the musical is on the Strand as well. And then there are like side roads that, like Frozen is there, Cinderella's like further up on Drury Lane, Tina Turner, Mamma Mia, like around Aldwych. So there were so many people, and I was like, do you know what, I'm still getting used to speaking to a camera, and I don't particularly want to be doing it in front of hundreds of people who were quite rowdy as well. Like, people generally tend to be a little bit rowdy when leaving the theatres. So I decided not to do that, and I'm very glad I did. I also feel like it wouldn't be very safe, like me holding a camera at arm's length with a bunch of like rowdy people about. So well done me for not doing that. Broken Wings was incredible. It was such a beautiful production, and for those of you that don't know, I think I said this earlier, I am part Lebanese as well, and Khalil Gibran, who the musical is about, is part Lebanese too. And I spent quite a few years in Beirut in Lebanon. So I was there from my like mid-teen years till early 20s, so I did spend quite a lot of time there. So this production was really special because it spoke to a bunch of issues that really hit home. So it tackled issues about identity and what that means when you come from various different places. So Khalil Gibran, I believe, was fully Lebanese, but then he went to the US when he was 12. He moved to the US, and then he found himself back in Beirut, I think when he was 18, just doing like some soul searching and trying to figure out who he was and reconcile various different parts of himself, which I can relate to in some respects. Like, I've always felt English, although my parents aren't ethnically English, but I've spent most of my life in London, so I've always felt English. But that was something that I related to in some way, shape or form. And then the other thing that what I wasn't expecting this at all, these kind of like gender roles, like the idea of like the role of a woman and like what that means in Lebanese society, obviously like during that time period as well, and the differences between men and women, and like the pressures that are exerted on women to fulfill their duty and to marry and have kids and, you know, do all these various things and behave in certain ways and stuff. And that was definitely something that really hit home. Not the marriage with the kids, but more so like this expectation that society puts on women to behave in a certain way, to act in a certain way, not to do things, to do certain things. So that was really, I felt like that really hit home. I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. The music was spectacular. I tweeted, I think during the interval, I was like, where is the soundtrack? Can we get a soundtrack? And they don't have a soundtrack of this version of the production, but I think the original, I think it's called like the original conception, the original idea, they have a soundtrack for that on Spotify, so I listened to that on the way home. But the music was absolutely incredible. The cast was beautiful. All the actors were incredible. It was quite a small cast. I think there were, I want to say 8. That's wrong. 9. 8 or 9 people. But it was cast beautifully, and the theatre was really small and really intimate, which is really lovely because it's been a while since I've been in such a small, intimate setting. Like, I've been to see a lot of really big productions with all these like incredible fancy sets and like lighting, and
this was very, 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 very small, and the sets were, I mean, would you call them sets? Like it was just, yeah, I don't think I would call them sets. They were like pieces of like props that the cast themselves brought on and off at various points during the production. But it was really, really beautiful. And the audience was fantastic as well. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. If I were to offer a critique, my only critique would be that they spoke in English accents. That's my only critique. Now, hear me out. Khalil Gibran goes back in time to when he returned to Beirut. And side note, one of the beautiful things about this production is, I think the writer, Nadim, I forget his name, but I'll put his name on the screen, Nadim, who plays the older Khalil Gibran in the present, he's there, so he's on stage throughout the entire performance, and he's telling his story of when he returned to Beirut. And then there's the young Khalil Gibran, and that was really, really, like, that dynamic was so beautiful. And there's, I can't remember what song it was, but there's a song where they're both singing and their harmonies are just so, so, so beautiful. So that was really, really special. I lost my train of thought. Oh, the English accents. So Khalil Gibran returns to Beirut and he goes back home to see people that are from Beirut, not from England. Yet they all speak with English accents, minus Selma, who I think she was I don't think she was mimicking a typical Beiruti accent, but maybe that's her own accent. It was like, I would say like a European / English accent. I would say that was the closest thing to a Beiruti accent. But everyone else was English, which I thought was really weird. And if anything, Khalil Gibran should have sounded American, because he spent his teen years, so like 12 to 18, he spent in the United States in Boston, and then he goes back to Beirut. So if anything, he should have had an American accent. And then Khalil Gibran, like the older Khalil Gibran who's recounting this story, he should have been American too, because he was sitting in his office in America going through his history. That was the only thing that I was like, why do they sound English? Like, surely it would not have been hard for them to put on an accent. Like, everyone can kind of put on an accent with the right coaching. And like, yeah, I don't know, that was the only thing that I was like, I feel like that's such a small touch, but it would have made a big difference to like my experience. And like, I don't know, maybe like included some form of like the language that like you would hear in Beirut. So like the only instance of this was one of the characters, Dima, who is Khalil Gibran's friend, her mother at one point says Habibti, which is like my love in Arabic. That is the only instance, I think, where they use like Arabic. And I get that they're playing to an English audience, but I just feel like it would have given the production like a greater sense of authenticity in terms of retelling this story. And like, the story takes place in Beirut, so surely they should have incorporated some of that, like, you know, like culture and language into the story. That was it. Apart from that, I thoroughly enjoyed the production. I thought it was absolutely marvelous, and it was so nice to just like support musical theatre in its like smaller forms, because obviously the productions that really, really, really need the help right now are like smaller productions, not the Wickeds and the Les Mises and the Phantoms, because I mean, those are like here to stay. Yes, the theatre industry is struggling, so like if you can get out and watch any production, that's brilliant. However, between a massive production and like a small production, obviously it's really great to support these smaller productions. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I've now removed all my makeup and I think I'm going to, it's quite late, but I think I'm going to have a bath because it's Friday night. Yay, theatre and baths. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching if you have stuck around to this point. And if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up so I know that you've enjoyed it. I'm gonna try do more of these like less formal vloggy style videos and like work up the courage to take my camera around and vlog in public. It's just a little bit difficult when leaving the theatres because, like I said, quite rowdy and there's lots of people and it's not safe and you want to be safe. So yeah, but anyways, thank you again and I will see you again